Road Break family, how's every single one of you today? We're about to approach June. We're going to be halfway through the year, and it's Sunday. The week is about to end, but we always like to finish on a great note, and that's why we have a great figure, another wrestler for you guys. We're going to get to know. We're going to get to talk to him, and this is Kirk Castle from Sherwood, Arkansas. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Y'all doing good?
Oh yeah, doing great. Really happy to have you with us. We're going to be talking about all your career, your experiences in professional wrestling, this sport that we love and enjoy. So, how you tell me a little bit about how you started, Kirk. How what was your first exposure to professional wrestling?
Honestly, man, I have two brothers. We beat the crap out of each other our entire lives. We've had trampolines, and so honestly, it's funny because when I first, my very, very first exposure to wrestling was Saturday mornings, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then you had, I believe it was a Smackdown rerun. And my mom would walk in and go, no, you're not watching wrestling. Get that crap off. And I'd be like, oh, come on, I want to watch wrestling. So throughout the years, I kind of, I would rent the DVDs and stuff of pay-per-views from the library. And it wasn't even that long. It was about 5 years ago or 6 that I would rent the DVDs and watch them because that was before the network. And so one day my buddy says, hey, we were in high school and we were watching some top 10 videos of some moves and stuff. And I'm like, see, I told you this is not fake. This is some real stuff. And I mean, to me, it is real, honestly. And I mean, these were top 100, hard hitting moves, right? And he's like, "Oh no, that's stupid, man." And I said, "Well, sit down and watch it with me." So this guy now is full blown into wrestling. He loves wrestling. So anyway, long story short, he says, "Hey Kirk, they're coming to." At that point, it was Verizon Arena. I think it's Simmons Bank Arena now in Arkansas. But he says, hey, WWE is coming to Simmons Bank Arena or Verizon Arena. You want to go? I said, yeah. So we ended up going, and I'm sitting there watching these people. And we had pretty good seats, too. I was pretty happy because usually when I go to stuff like that, I don't have super good seats, but I had pretty good seats. And I was like, man, these guys are good, man. This is good. And then I'm like, I think I could actually do that, though. I think this would be super fun to try. So a couple days go by, and I had a buddy who was wrestling somewhere else in Arkansas, and he posted a match, and he said, "Thank you, whoever, for this match. This is my childhood dream." And I said, "Hey, brother, how long does it take me to get the first match?" And I was like, "I'm ready to go. I'm ready to, And he's like a year. And I went, "Oh man, I just did not understand. You could just waltz in the ring, And he's like, "Yeah, about a year." So anyway, I contacted a dude from Hot Springs, Antonio Reyes, South Central Wrestling. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll train you." So 2 years later, here I am. I fought my way up, and now I'm the South Central Heavyweight Champion. But yeah, that's pretty much my very first exposure was Saturday morning cartoons of my mom walking in and going, "Get this trash off. We're not watching this." And now, just recently, I'm like, "Mom, that's what I do for profession now."
Well, who would have thought that would have been the path that you would have chose, right? Who would have thought? Yeah, that's awesome. So, who do you look up to when you watch wrestling? Who influenced you to become a wrestler?
Honestly, man, I'm very, this has a lot to do with my training. Very old school. So I would rather watch Starrcade, whatever, with Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express than some of the newer stuff. And nothing against the newer stuff. That's just how I was trained and what I like to watch. So old stuff. I don't really have a particular guy. I just kind of pull from everybody. I like the people who the crowd did not like, but now they do. Because to me, that's something you can't go, okay, well, here's a certain amount of money, here's a certain amount of whatever. Now you gotta you gotta like I love The Rock because everyone's like, oh, The Rock is super over. Yeah, but it wasn't always over. Yeah. The Rock was Rocky Maivia at one point. He was a nobody, man. And look at the guy now. He's arguably the most I would say the most well-known celebrity in the world. I mean, yeah. I don't think there's anybody else who doesn't know who The Rock is. He was a nobody at one point. And so to me, I look at guys like that and I'm like, that's what I got to do, man. I'm a nobody, but one day You know, The Rock wasn't sitting at home going, "Hey, I'm going to be the most well-known person in the world." At one point, he was just like, "Just going to give it my best shot every day and see how it goes." You know,
Yeah,
and that's just
you gotta just keep
yeah,
going for it. You gotta keep
yeah.
going for it. That's awesome. So like you said your training was pretty old school. Tell me a little bit about your training.
Honestly, man, we had this is so funny because it's so untypical. It's so untypical of normal training. I see so many. And I'm not going to bring up any training schools in particular because I don't want to knock anybody. But I've walked into places before, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on in here? You guys can't even take an arm drag, and you're over here doing Canadian destroyers." You know. So, but no, first day, man, that was hell, man. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. You know, we get in the ring and we're doing rolls. You know, we're taking bumps and stuff. I remember first day, man. First day. This is crazy for me now that you asked me about this to look back on it. Trainer says, "All right, back bump, fall down, boom, concussion." First one. I was just like, uh, uh. My dad standing over there and he was like, "Son, are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Dad, get out of the ring. You're not supposed to be in the ring." um, but um, but yeah, and I remember I almost vomited a couple times just from the dizziness. And like a wrestling ring, a lot of people don't understand. A wrestling ring, it is solid if you have it put together correctly. And I'm sure you know in big budget promotions, their rings are probably a little bit more solid. Some of these indie promotions, but most rings that I've been in fact, all of them, they're put together solid, but they sway. So it's like being on a ship. If you hit the ropes one way, you're going this way.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
so your body's got to adjust to like almost like a seasickness. So I hadn't trained in 2 months because of the pandemic, and then I get in the ring and I'm like, oh, you know. And but my training was very old school. We had um, basically we had a list of chain wrestling maneuvers. And I remember I told my trainer the other day, I said, "Man, I hated chain wrestling because it was so boring to me. But now that I know how to do that, that's the stuff that separates me and guys that have been taught to chain wrestle um, from other guys that are like, all right, I can do this move and this move. Yeah, but you can't put me in a headlock correctly. The guy sitting in the front row don't believe you because guess what? He's been put in the headlock and you're not doing it. So, and he knows and he's a fan. So it's little stuff like that. We had a list of moves. And if I recall correctly, I was very sure you know, you got to learn to move somehow. And honestly, the best way for me to learn a move is if I'm going to teach somebody a move, I'm going to put you on it for real. I'm going to put it on you for real. And then, and because that's the way I was taught. And honestly, when I'm in the ring with somebody, we do put the moves on each other. That's just the way it is. So we had a list of moves. We did all that. Went through them over and over and over and over again. A lot of basics, man. A lot of basics is so important. That's what's missing, I think, in a lot of wrestlers today that are like, "Oh, I'm an independent wrestler." I'm like, "Yeah, but you can't run the ropes and you can't, you know what I mean? Like the
Like the
basics,
basics,
like, you know,
right? They don't know the
yeah, yeah.
basics. Like it's like
No,
they
they don't know
wanna
the
like go
basics.
to like point B without going through point A first,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, I can do a pile driver." I'm like, "But why? You know, you don't need to know how to do that yet." You know what I mean? But that's just how I was trained is you don't do anything until you've got the basics down. Because honestly, if you're looking at trying to get a shot from a big company and they're like, "All right, show me what you got," and they see you put a headlock on somebody and it's trash, so you'll be like, "Next." You know?
It is true. It's absolutely true. So, Kirk, tell me a little bit about like, was there any point in this training that like you felt like, okay, this is not meant for me. I'm done.
Probably not. I would say the first day, I never said I want to quit, but definitely after the first day, I thought, good, I don't have to do this for another week, you know? And then I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But there's really never been a time where I've woke up and said, I don't feel like going to training because honestly, wrestling, that's what a lot of people do it to say I'm a professional wrestler. I do it because I like wrestling and it's my therapy. You know what I mean? It's my therapy as in like for example, if I'm going to a therapy session, I'm not going to miss therapy session. You know what I mean? Because that's my time. Like if someone's like, all right, you got a free massage every day. You think I'm going to miss massage time? No, I'm going to therapy session. So for me, that's what my wrestling is. My wrestling is getting out there and saying, and you know these people. There's a few guys out there that are like, I'm a wrestler, and they just want the stardom. They just want the fans. They just want, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't care if someone thinks that I'm a good wrestler, a bad wrestler. I do care what people think about my skill, but as far as me personally as a person, I don't want someone to stand up and go, man, that guy's awesome, and me to go, that's right, I am awesome. I'm like, no, I just like wrestling. And that's why people say, you're a sports entertainer. I'm like, you can call me an entertainer, but at the end of the day, I don't do it so that people can go, you're awesome. I want to buy your t-shirt and I want to worship you like, an idol or whatever. That's not what I'm going for. I wrestle because I like wrestling. And if someone sitting in the front row that's never seen wrestling goes, man, I want to be like that guy. That guy's, he's got the humility and he's on top, but he's humble and he doesn't expect anything from anybody. He just gets it because that people like him. You know what I mean? And that's what I think what gets people over the most. People know it. I told someone this the other day. I said, if you're really good at something, you don't got to say it. People know. People will tell you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Especially if you say it, then like you're losing your humbleness.
Absolutely,
you have to say it when you much rather want that somebody else to say it for you. So like now, like you have like the training and walk me through like your first match. How did you feel? Extreme nervous? Like were you able to contain yourself? How was like all of that like for you? Walk me through those moments.
Honestly, man, that's a match. Your first match, you never forget it. But and the guy I was wrestling. We had a good match. But a lot of people talk about butterflies and stuff. I don't know how to describe it. I've tried to describe it to several people, but I don't really get your typical butterflies, and it's because like a lot of people will be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a match," and they puke. It's not really me. I like wrestling, so I'm going to go out there and have a great wrestling match, and I get amped, so to speak. Not really nervous. Like I know that we're fixing to have a good match and put on a good show, but I don't ever get to the point where I'm like, I'm so nervous I can't go out there and wrestle because honestly, to me, I know a lot of people that are like, I've seen them train. I'm like, you're a great wrestler, but then you get in the ring and it's just out the window, and I'm like, what's going on? You got to be able to. So as far as containing myself, yeah. I think I did a pretty good job. But definitely the first match, I think I really did have the real butterflies on that one. And then, you get more confident. But yeah, that first match, I was kind of like freaking out a little bit. But, it's the first match. And then from then on, I was like, all right, I can do this. I'm not going to screw this up.
Awesome. That's and so now, so your first match, now you say you're a world champion or like you won gold. So how is that feeling for you? That accomplishment, man. Like the company is trusting you with like gold.
It was awesome, man. I love South Central Wrestling. Like I said, that's where I was trained. And so for me to go from literally someone who just walked in the door 2 years later to being able to, and honestly, that speaks leaps and bounds for their training. If I can get to the level where they're like, where the board is like, you know what, this guy came from nothing, and now he can hang with some of the top guys. And like I said, that it speaks leaps and bounds about their training facility. But also, that just it's like saying it's a reward for all your hard work, because there's not a lot of people that can do that, and so they get the opportunity to do that. And so for me to be able to do that, that was awesome. I see a lot of companies that don't take stuff seriously. And like I said, I'm not pointing anybody out. I'm not going to knock anybody. But when I see South Central Wrestling, I see the board and stuff, and I'm just like, man, these guys are not playing. This is some real stuff, man. We got some real matches. We got some, it's real stuff. And I see people in other companies. I'm just like, what in the hell are you doing? You guys you guys, you know, and they're like, well, I'm the champ. And I'm like, I don't care. You know, I tell people all the time, I'm the champion, but if I were to lose the belt, I'm going to be just as over as I was the very next day. You know, I love being champion. The gold means a lot to me. Honestly, I take it as a sign of respect more than, hey, I'm the champion, because I can't stand people that are like, hey, I'm the champion. Look at me, you know. And I'm like, that's great. Let's get in the ring and we'll see who's champion. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I don't gotta have no freaking belt to prove it. But like I said, the belt is a sign of respect. It's not a sign of look how good I am. You know, and I say that really South Central Wrestling does a great job of separating that. I love the fact that we're fixing to have 2 belts, I believe, coming up soon. But right now we have 1. And so, you know, if you have a company and you have 10 belts and I have 1 of them, well, half your roster is a champion. You know, if you have 1 belt, you're like, all right, well, 1 out of 20. Oh, you're the man then. You know what I mean? So honestly, like, that's why I say it's so respectful when someone gets that belt, is because it just separates you so much.
Yeah, it does. And also, like, you know, the belt is like, you should focus on the belt. You know, the belt is what makes it. You know, not like, you know, and we can just mention, like, you know, WWE, like, for years, they've been just like, you know, the importance of the belt has, like, it's pretty much nothing. It's meaningless. Yep. You know, the belt should be what you fight for, not like the rivalry itself. The belt is what you want to be. You want to be a champion. That's why you fight. You know, without the belt, there's nothing. So, yeah, walk me through now your best rivalry.
Honestly, I've had a couple. I've got to go with El Rey, though, man. El Rey is this short, stocky dude. He's a bad dude, man. I'm telling you right now. El Rey, he is known as the Aztec Warrior. Me and him had a match not too long ago. We beat the living crap out of each other, throwing each other into the bleachers and everything, man. And the fans were loving it, man. And so he's just a tough dude, man. He's a tough dude to beat. You know, we've went back and forth for a while. He's got a match coming up at Arkansas Championship Wrestling, and so do I. We're not going against each other, but they have a separate. We're going in separate matches. But I would definitely say El Rey. He is one of those guys that I'm just like, gosh, man, like I could definitely take him, but it's one of those fights, you know, that's you're not gonna walk out unscathed, and you kind of know it. So you just kind of walk in, trying to do the best you can, I guess, you know.
He's that type of guy that like gets the best out of you, and that's awesome. Those are the like. See, tell me, like, what kind of matches do you enjoy the most, though? For example, like just single ones, or you want like toys, you like Extreme Rules, like ladder, like cage. What is like your preference? What do you enjoy the most?
Honestly, man, for me, I'm a singles guy because I feel like that's it sounds kind of selfish, but I promise I don't mean it like that. What I mean is I enjoy singles matches because that's the most opportunity for someone to shine. So if me and you are going against each other and you're doing good and I'm doing good, well, if we got 5 other people in there, that's going to be hard for everyone to kind of, you know, I don't want to say get their stuff in, because to me, I don't do that. You know, we're having a wrestling match. So, but for me, I'm a singles competitor. I do think that tag team is it's just something that a lot of people, and I really didn't understand this until I got into the business. It's something that a lot of people don't understand. I don't know. It's like playing 5-on-5 in basketball and then 3-on-3 scrimmage game. Like, it's not. They're both legitimate basketball games, but it's just different. You know what I mean? You got to have there's totally different moving parts. You can't just walk in there and say tag randomly and you know, triple threat, fatal 4-way, all this stuff. It takes a lot of expertise. I'll say that to get to the point where a match is good, because, you know, when it comes down to chemistry, that's where you got to have your chemistry.
Yeah.
Is those types of matches. I'm not a big weapons guy. Of course, everyone likes TLC. You know, that's awesome. I've been in a couple of those. If I come out and I hit you with a chair every show, every event, the 11th time, if I've hit you 10 times in a row, the 11th time, do you think they're going to go, oh, he just hit him with a chair? They're going to go, oh, here we go.
Yeah, it doesn't
just hit
become
him
special.
again.
It's
Yeah.
not special.
So what do I got? If I'm hitting you with a kendo stick and you're hitting me with a table, and then I hit you with a fire extinguisher and you hit me with a barbed wire baseball bat, what do I got to do? Bring out a chainsaw the next time? You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta, and that's another reason. Go back to old school stuff like South Central Wrestling, ACW. When you bring out that chair, they're like, "Holy shit, this guy's gonna get hit with a chair!" Bam! That never happens. Just hit him with a chair. He's out cold, and he probably is.
Yeah, no, and see that's a very pretty old school mentality when they did things in a certain way to like just make it more meaningful. That's the main intention. I would say.
Meaningful. Yep.
Meaningful. Make it like remarkable for people when they leave. They kind of like remember that exact moment. So that's
absolutely.
So now, Kurt, like tell me about like how did you develop your own identity as a wrestler? How did that happen for you? Because for example, we can say the Rocky Maivia. It was a process for him to get to the Rock. Like John Cena from the Dr. Thugonomics to get to the John Cena that we know right now. How like the evolution of Kirk?
Honestly, I'm just now getting to that top there where I'm like, all right, this is gonna be because when you first start out, and once again, this is stuff that when you first get into the wrestling business, this is stuff you just can't teach. You just got to figure it out on your own. And when you first say, this is going to be my character. Match number 1. I'm staying solid all the way through because that was my plan. I was like, I don't want to ever change. I want to be the same guy on day 1 as the same and as the same wrestler on year 25. And that's just not going to happen. And so because here's the thing, like for example, love the tactical gear stuff. My family's a hunting family. We hunt animals. We love me and my brothers. We always played airsoft. You know what airsoft is with the pellet guns and stuff. And so we were like, yeah, I'm tactical. I love the tactical stuff. And so I was wearing the tactical vest and the camo pants. And they're like, with the long hair, you look exactly like Roman Reigns. And I'm like, listen, I like Roman Reigns, but I'm not trying to be Roman Reigns. I just like the stuff. And in wrestling, you're supposed to be yourself. I'm like, that's me. And they're like, you cannot be that. And honestly, I was over with a lot of the fans and stuff. But at the end of the day, I was like, this is not going to work because I'm such a knockoff unintentionally that I can't really be myself. And the more that I kind of evolved, I was like, I don't really want to be the tactical guy anymore. I love the tactical stuff, but it just happened that someone had already taken that. And nowadays I see people with the tactical gear and I'm like, no, man, because they've already done that. So many people have already done that. And honestly, the tactical gear looks badass, man. That's awesome. I love that stuff. I mean, I think it truly is me to an extent. But at the end of the day, I had to look back and go, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I think my first match, I had a tactical vest, which I still have, and because it's super cool, and blue jeans. Because I was a security guard who got attacked by a wrestler, and I said, I'm going to beat your ass because I'm a security guard and you don't get to do that. Because all the fans were like, this guy's 6'5", man. I want to see him in the ring. There you go. All right, there's your angle right there. There's your first match. And so we started wrestling in that with the camo pants and stuff, and then I finally got to a point where I was like, this is just not going to work. So I had some pants or whatever, and honestly, I didn't even have enough money to buy gear. I was just like, I got some cheap boots and some kind of stretchy wrestling type pants, and that's what I was going with. And just recently, I was able to get some tights and stuff, and they look super awesome. And but as far as the evolution of the character goes, I just learned to wear pants. I was like, this is what I'm wearing. They're just like, and the heels, they're going to heel up on you. They're going to say, you're wearing slacks, and I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, the more I got to thinking, I'm like, they're right. I'm wearing pants, and nothing against people that wear pants, but when everyone's wearing pants, nobody's wearing wrestling gear. It makes me look bad. So I'm like, all right, I got to change this. So that's another part of the evolution, Once again, another step in the evolution process of the Kirk Castle character. So that's going to be awesome when I finally figure out what all I'm doing with that. And once again, it's just being yourself, man. But unfortunately, sometimes you got to look at yourself and go, I can't be that guy because somebody already is that
Yeah,
guy.
no, it takes time. It takes time for like people to figure it out. You know, it's very few guys that like they figured it out from the get go. So, but like for you, I think it's going to work out pretty well. And like you said, like yeah, the same thing with our show. We just have like a lot of things that we will try to do, and somebody else is already doing. So it's like, oh, okay, like there you go. You
Yeah,
had like the greatest idea ever, and then you just go,
yeah,
oh, nah, it's been done, so
yeah,
whatever. You gotta go back to
yeah.
the drawing board and start all
And
over
that's a
again.
crushing feeling. That is a
It
crushing
is.
feeling. We're like, this is gonna be awesome, and then I'm gonna have this, and we're gonna make these T-shirts, and you're like, never mind, scrap all those designs.
Never
You
mind.
know?
Yep, going. It was like the biggest joy of your life, and that lasted 3 seconds, and that's all there
Yeah,
was.
3 seconds. Yep.
Yep, pretty much. That's all there is. So, like, now, tell me about like, do you watch the current product? What's your take on that? What do you watch? What do you like?
um, I honestly don't have time to watch the current stuff. Occasionally, I will because I love all wrestling, man. I'm a fan of wrestling. I always have been. I always will be. Let's say I'm cooking a meal. Um, right now I'm trying to eat 4 to 5 meals a day. I'm going to the gym 3 hours a day. I'm very health and fitness oriented. So it's very, and I heard some people a bodybuilder say this one time, and not that I'm a bodybuilder, but it's very selfish. It's a very selfish lifestyle. There's been times when I'm like, my family's like, I want you to come hang out with me. I'm like, I can't eat that. I can't eat that pizza. I can't eat this. I can't go to the movies with you, or whatever, because I got to stay home and do this. And it's nothing personal. It's just the way it is, And so, very busy, but sometimes, if I'm cooking a meal, I'll throw a match on the TV. Um, I follow WWE and AEW and stuff like the Impact on social media. So if they're like, all right, this is our new champion, probably know about it. But if I'm like, all right, that was a good match, I'm gonna watch that match. Sometimes I'll put on like, if I'm like, this match is solid, I know it. I'll watch. I'll throw that on and watch it. But as far as what I think about it, you know, it just depends on what you want. I'm old school. A lot of the stuff I don't agree with, but at the end of the day, I got plenty of friends that are wrestlers, and they think I do stuff that don't make sense, and I think they do stuff that don't make sense. So, you know, I think there is a fine line between I disagree with what you think and you disagree with what I think, and someone's disrespecting the business. There's a very fine line, and I'm not going to call anybody out because you know probably who I'm talking about. There's a lot of people on the shows nowadays that do stuff, and I'm just like, good night, what the heck,
Yes.
But there's someone sitting in the crowd going, hey, I want that guy's T-shirt, and that's great, but that's not sports entertainment. That's entertainment. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if someone's going to say, I want that guy's T-shirt, even though he's acting like a jackass and insulting the business, well, that's fine. But don't call it wrestling. Call it something else.
We call it just entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, call it just entertainment. That's all it is. Yeah, I completely
Yeah.
understand. I completely understand. But like for example, according to you, like the two main brands in wrestling right now, we will say like is NXT and AEW. Do you like have any preference under those two or no?
Honestly, I'm an NXT guy. And nothing against AEW. The thing I like about AEW is they're an independent organization. So basically, it's a massive indie show. Because I feel like a lot of times with WWE, people will say, all right, well, let's just say someone got a contract with WWE. Well, hey man, you want to come back to our your hometown and do a show? Well, I can't. I'm under contract. They won't let me wrestle there. AEW is like, sure, go do whatever you want. Don't get hurt. You got a show on Monday, or Wednesday or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
So, and I feel like that should be a freedom. You know what I mean? Like if I'm an independent contractor, I should be able to do what I want. But that's the thing with WWE: you're an employee. You're not an independent contractor. And
Yes.
some people like that. Some people like that. Some people don't. And I understand why WWE is like that, because let's say that I'm working with WWE and I'm in the main event picture, and then I'm like, hey, I'm going back to my own town. I'm like, all right, we're going to put you with this new guy, and he breaks my neck. And I'm sorry, Vince McMahon, I can't wrestle for you. Why not? Well, I got my neck broke in front of 10 people. That's stupid, But I mean, it's one of those things where you gotta trust your workers, I think, to say, I'm not working this guy. I'm not wrestling with this guy because he's dangerous, or I have a big show coming up. I'll wrestle with this guy because I know him or I trust him. But at the end of the day, I do not disagree with WWE for saying you're not wrestling anybody. It's because it's protecting your assets.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, you're
And
taking
to a
care of
point,
like you're taking care of your money right there, pretty much,
yeah,
because people
absolutely.
pay to see you. Absolutely. So, like for
Yeah.
example, if you get like two contracts, exact
Mhm.
same contract, AEW or like to go to NXT, which one do you pick?
It would definitely depend on the numbers.
Exactly
And
alike though. Exactly alike. Zero
exactly like,
improvement.
okay, I don't know. That is a very tough question. I'd probably, of course, take some time to consider. Um, because here's the thing. Let me say this, and I'll answer that question. You've got two different sides of that story there. You've got NXT, which is this is here's your contract signing. If you're good, there's a chance you're going to get re-signed, which there is that with AEW as well. But you got to look at AEW and you got to look at WWE. Who's been going longer? Who has the most
Reach.
simple stuff?
What
Yeah,
is
reach. Who has the most sponsors? Who has the most um networking? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I'm like, gosh, I want to go with WWE, and honestly, that's probably what I would go with because it's WWE, and that's the safest bet. But once again, that's a locked down contract, and I would probably go with WWE. It's very, very tempting to go, okay, AEW, I'll go with you because now I can come back and do whatever I want. Yeah, but the next year they might go, we don't need you anymore. You know, so and WWE might do the same thing too, except like I said, that's just a very hard question. I would go with WWE though
Yeah,
because of
no,
the
and that's
networking and
fine.
stuff.
There's not
I
right
mean,
or wrong. I feel that, like, see, we've had a lot of guys also, and they say, for example, that at least AEW, they will give them freedom with their character, whereas,
yeah,
WWE kind of locks you down at, like,
hmm
they
that's
want
another
you to
thing.
be
Yeah,
what they want you
hmm
to be. And not, for example,
yeah,
if you come as Kirk Castle, maybe I can,
yeah,
I turn to something different.
yeah,
AEW will be like, you're Kirk Castle, all the way. So, like,
yeah.
but like, hey, there's not right or wrong answer here. So, Kirk,
hmm
like, dreams for you, goals in like this professional wrestling business. What is like
hmm
what is next for you? Like you have like the territory of Arkansas, like you like have the
hmm
South wrestling. So, what's the dreams for you? Like what's the next step in the ladder for you?
Well, honestly, I do I do want to go as far as I can. And I feel like a lot of people that have that aspiration, they're like, I'm going to the WWE, I'm going to AEW, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not showing me you're going to the AEW. You're not showing me you're going to the WWE. You're not. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that to be an ass. I'm saying it because like it's the little things that stick out to me. Like I go to the gym every day, and there's days when I'm just like, I don't want to do that. It's part of the job. You know what I mean? If you've got 10 guys lined up and all of them are out of shape except for me, and they're all the same working quality, who do you think's getting chosen? The guy that's
Yes,
jacked, the guy
yes,
that's peeled, because they want someone who looks good on TV, and it's nothing against people that are out of shape. It's just the way it is. And so stuff like that, it's so clear to me when someone's like, I'm going to the WWE, and I'm like, yeah, but you get in the ring and you wrestle and you train a little bit, but you don't do anything else. You don't have any merch. You don't even have, you know, I busted my butt to get my freaking gear, man. And to invest in supplements and scheduling and gym and diet. Stuff that nobody thinks about because at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. If you're going to be all in. You know, don't just say, "Oh, I'm in for this one, I'm in for the show," but then, you know, be someone who sits at home and downs a bottle of Jack and eats a pizza every day. Because I could be doing that. I like pizza, just as much as the next guy.
who doesn't though? Who doesn't?
Yeah, right,
Who
right.
doesn't? Yes, yes.
Uh, it's just really hard. It's one of those things when I look at it and I think, as much as I love pizza and drinking Coca-Cola, you know, how much more do I want to go big time than pizza and Coke?
Oh
A
yeah,
lot more. So when
yeah.
I have a pizza in front of me, and I'm not saying I never take a cheat meal, I'm saying that when it's the middle of the week and I'm like, it's not time for that yet, man, eh, how much more do I want it?
No,
You
yeah.
know?
I understand.
Eh,
I understand.
and honestly, the next step for me is just to keep grinding. It's to keep grinding and to branch out into other states and stuff. Um, because at the end of the day, I want to be the guy that someone knew from a small town in Arkansas that said, this guy right here was nothing. He was a nobody. He was overweight. He was out of shape. He couldn't do anything with the wrestling business. And we didn't see it coming, and we thought that he was joking. We thought all this stuff was stupid. And now guess what? He's on TV. And he was serious, and he made it. And anybody can do that. I'm a nobody, but the point is I want to make is, it doesn't matter who you are. If you put in the work, if you want it bad enough, you'll get there eventually.
Yes.
You just keep grinding.
Exactly.
Just never take no for an answer.
Exactly. No, that's absolutely great advice. So now, Kurt, like, tell me a little bit about like a dream match of you. For you, what will be like, the guy that you say, hey, he and I equals money, and that will be like, that will like steal the show.
Honestly, I know I say honestly after every question, but I'm trying to be honest.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that I thank you for the honesty. There you
go. But I like The Rock and I like Roman Reigns. A lot of people would say I pulled my character from Roman Reigns. Didn't. That's just the way it worked out. I like Roman Reigns though. I feel like we could have a good match. I feel like The Rock and me could have a good match because he's a good wrestler, and I feel like at the end of the day, if you put two good wrestlers in the ring, it's money. If you got me on the mic and him on the mic and we're going back and forth and blah 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 blah, I feel like that would definitely make some money. And there's a lot of old school guys I want to work that probably there's not working anymore. Like some of the guys from Midnight Express, that'd be awesome to have a match with those guys. Rock and Roll Express is still working, I believe.
NWA Power. NWA.
Yeah,
Power.
NWA. Yeah. That shows you how up to date I am on stuff. I forgot they were NWA.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Hey,
But and speaking of NWA, there's a couple guys on there I want to work with too, and Russell too. You've got guys like Tim Storm and
Nick Aldis.
Yeah, Nick Aldis, guys like that. I love NWA, dude. That's right up my alley with the old school stuff.
James Storm is also there, so yeah, he's pretty good too.
Yep.
Mr. Kennedy, Ken Anderson, he's also there.
Yep. And Brian Cage was in WCWA in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and he wrestled their champion. So, and that was a solid match, and I feel like me and Brian could go pretty good. So that'd be another one of those.
He just debuted on AEW too, so like there you go. Like so, yeah. I wish for the day that I can see you debuting in one of those. I'm just tuning in, and I see, look at Kirk Castle right there. That would be awesome. That would be just great. That would be just
one
great.
day, man.
I know it will. One day it will happen. I have no doubt it will happen. So like you will say that's the kind of guys that you will like to like you will like to have like your dream matches. Okay, that's pretty great.
And then there's some local independent guys that I have fought, and honestly, they have been some of my dream matches. Just a couple of them. You've got one dude, Magnificent Malico. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
It's just the next freaking level, man. Like, you don't realize how good that guy is until you get in the ring and you're like, this guy's beating my ass, man. And he's a clown. It's just next level. I'll just say that.
Awesome. That's
one of them. So
that's what we love to hear. Like the passion that you just talked to, the passion that you just inspire for this business that we love. So like now, tell me a little bit. Tell me like your worst memory in wrestling so far and the best memory.
I was having a match. I was having a match with my training partner. And your training partner, it should be a good match. It should be a good wrestler. If you're trained the exact same way, you'd think you'd have compatibility. And we do. I just don't know why me and my training, just the botches were numerous. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And I was like, this is a freaking nightmare. This is terrible. And so and it wasn't really, it was both of our fault, and at the time I was mad at him and I was like, Kirk, it was probably your fault too. It was early on, because at the end of the day, if you have a bad match, it's everyone's fault. It's not just one dude that's screwing stuff up. He did something that you didn't think was going to work out or whatever, so and it led to a botch or whatever. And it's probably my worst memory, but it was also kind of one of those that I look back and go, that was a really good learning experience too. There's a lot of memories in training. I don't know if you're counting that, but we were training one day, and then we were working on the dude he was going to Samoan drop this guy. Well, he hooked him like I don't even know what the move is called. Sheamus does it for the white noise, and he gets
Look, put him over here. Put him over here.
Yeah. So he hooked him like that, with the neck underneath the armpit like that, and then yep.
It kind of looked like Death Valley Driver way. Yeah.
And this guy just freaking pancaked him. This was a little dude. This guy was about 350 pounds, and he was doing it on a guy who's about 150, and he just jumped and pancaked the guy. And I'm like, blood's come out of the kid's nose, and I'm like, holy shit, man, this is bad, And I'm like, learning moment, Kirk, never do that. Learning moment, And so that's one of those it was kind of, I think it was bad because anytime someone gets, hurt like that, it's not good, but it's learning moment,
Yeah. And now your best memory then?
Honestly, the best memory I was with Sword Championship Wrestling. We're in Sherwood. First match ever in my hometown, so it was a very emotional night for me. Because you gotta. I don't know if you've ever been to Sherwood or.
I don't have the pleasure yet, but
it's I'm not gonna say it's small, but the place where I'm from is actually. It used to be. It's a city that doesn't exist anymore. It's called Gravel Ridge. I say I'm from Sherwood, but I actually live out of city limits in a place called Gravel Ridge, which is part of Sherwood. So I'm from Sherwood, but Sherwood is not a very big place. You've got a few thousand people, a couple schools, and that's it. And I know there's a lot of places that are a lot smaller than that. But the place where I'm from has no school. We have nothing. We have everything's technically. We have a Dollar General, and we have a bank and a couple of gas stations, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And so then you got to go into Sherwood. And so for me to say, I'm even from a city that's smaller than Sherwood, literally nothing. And for me to be able to be a part of a show, came in, won the Battle Royal. I look out there, you've got friends, family from high school that I didn't even know. I invited them, but I didn't think they were going to come, and they're all out there, yelling for me and stuff. That was really, ended up winning the Battle Royal at the end of the night. Awesome. Definitely best memory, man. And then, of course, when I won the title. But for, what hit home with me was just the support. I don't think people realize the support is it just means so much, man. I've got a lot of, this too, because I know you've been associated with the business for probably a while too, and you kind of know what's going on.
Yep.
So many people, there's so many haters, man. That's stupid, that's fake, that's this, that's that. I'm like, I don't go out there and say, you want to be playing basketball or whatever, you suck at basketball, you'll never be anything. Why is everyone hating on the wrestlers? You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And I honestly think it's because these guys, and I'm not going to, dog on the guys on TV, but it's everybody collectively. A lot of these guys go out there and they, like I said earlier, they don't mean it. They say they're a wrestler, but they don't sacrifice and they don't show any wrestling type personality. They don't show any meaning to what they do. They just say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And it's the silly stuff that really pisses me off, because those are the videos that I get from whatever friend going, this is you. This is what you do. This is stupid. And I'm like, that is stupid. That's not wrestling. Oh yeah, it is. It was on a wrestling show. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff that makes it so hard to support me. But when someone can look past that and say, well, I know Kirk. He's not like that. He's different. He doesn't do stuff like that. He takes it seriously. He's in the gym. He's eating right. He's doing this stuff. That means the world to me. When someone comes out and spends their money to support me when they don't have to, when they could be, sitting at home, do nothing. In the way that I look at it is, let's say that me and you are friends and you have a baseball game and you're playing on a team, and you say, Kirk, I want you to come watch my baseball game. And I say, oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'd rather be at home watching Netflix. You know what I mean? But if you're my friend and I really support you, I'm going to be there, And that's what I really take out of these people that are like, a lot of people do some stupid stuff in the wrestling world, but Kirk's not like that. And I know him personally, and we're going to show up and show out and support him. And to me, I'm like, thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it.
And
So that's one
what
of my
it's all
best
about,
memories.
like, but
Yep.
like, see, I can tell that you live your profession, because it's not only, you're not only a wrestler when you're inside of the ring, when you're in,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yep.
you're a wrestler all the way around, and that's important because, see, like you said, like we had a Doug Masters last week. He, old school guy, so he was saying, like, kayfabe is just dead. Kayfabe is a complete and obsolete
Unfortunately,
concept. And it's like somebody, he was saying, like, he goes to somebody, what kayfabe is. It's like, oh, so what kind of sandwich do you want? Like that. It's like, what kind of sandwich is that? It's like, no. And unfortunately, the social media, this kind of exposure, like, have killed the mystique that wrestling. When I would, when I started watching, when I was like 5 or 6 years old, it was like, okay, like, these things you just don't reveal. There's things that you just
absolutely.
stay and like, you are like old school, and I can really see it, and that's why you live as a wrestler, and that's really plausible, and I admire you and I respect you for that, because that's how everybody should live this, because that's when like people will get more respect toward this. They don't know what, like, we know. They don't know the hard work. They don't know the training. They don't know all of the suffering, all the concussions. They don't know any of this. We know it, and that's why we respect it. So now, Kirk, like, we've talked about all your life. Now tell me about the Kirk at home. What else? What is Kirk besides also the wrestler? What do you like to do? Like, music, hobbies, what are you like, when you're not thinking of wrestling, or when you're not the wrestler?
I honestly, I love fitness. I love nutrition, because here's the thing. That's what I hate to consider that a hobby, because it really shouldn't be, but it is, because nobody's doing that. Nobody's saying I should be. The vast majority is just saying, let's go out and do whatever we want, eat whatever we want. And that's fine. I was in the same boat, because at the end of the day, if you ain't got to be in shape, like, if I wasn't a wrestler, if I, let's say I had some big computer company and I sat behind a computer desk all day, I'm going to be eating whatever I want, because I like pizza and I like other stuff. Yeah, I might go to the gym and do some cardio, or go for a walk, but if I don't got to be in shape, I'm not going to discipline myself like that if I don't have to. It's like for one of the Rock's movies. Now, the Rock's always in shape, but let's say he didn't always want to be in shape. Do you think he enjoys dieting 160 days out of the year? No. And if he doesn't have to be, if they're like, yeah, you're going to have your shirt on the whole movie, he's probably be like, all right, take it easy a little bit. You know what I mean? If you don't have to, the Rock's a bad example for that, because he's a maniac and he is a beast in the gym, and he's one of those people that enjoys working out, and I do too. But like, for example, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt got ripped for this one movie. Now, he might not have to be in the next movie, so he's not going to discipline himself like that. That's kind of where I am, But like you said, I live my dream. I am a professional wrestler, and you know what the requirements for that is? 24/7, 365. If you walk out there and you're not in shape, they're going to go, this guy's not in shape. So, and I hate it that it's like that, but it's the way it is. And so, like I said, one of my passions is in hobbies, nutrition and dieting, because here's why I like that. You cannot cheat in the fitness world. Yeah, I've been hitting the gym 10 hours a day, 365, 24/7, or whatever. Okay, well, how come you ain't got a six-pack then? Well, you're lying. You know what I mean? You can't cheat with that. Well, I've been following my diet and I've been doing this. No, you haven't. Why? Because your cardio is bad. You're lying. You know what I mean? And they don't. And I've had people go, I've been doing this and I've been doing that, and be like, you're lying. Well, how do you know? I can tell, man. I look at you. They don't. And once again, I'm not hating on anybody that's not a fitness fanatic. I wasn't always like that, and there are days when I don't feel like being like that. But at the end of the day, you can't hide results, man. Results speak for themselves. Like, if I've been working on a new move in a wrestling ring and I freaking botched the shit out of that move, I'm lying. I ain't been working on it. It wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? So when someone's like, why do you focus on this, or why do you focus so much on that? Because I've been to parties, I've been to birthday parties and whatever gatherings, and like, hey, Kirk, eat this piece of pizza. No, I'm okay. I got my chicken and my broccoli. Well, that tastes bad. Well, I'm in better shape than you. And it's not like I'm being an ass. It's just they don't get it. And that's fine. Not everyone's gonna get it. They don't get why I'd rather eat oatmeal and blueberries than pizza. Because the truth is, I wouldn't. But at the end of the day, I know that when I climb in the ring and someone's like, man, that guy's he's in good shape. He's there. You know, he's been working out. It really does something to your mental state when you think, at the end of the day, I've done all I can to prove and to discipline myself, and I can't do anymore. You know, I've been eating right. I've been doing whatever it takes, and that's why I love the fitness and dieting is that reason. You can't hide results. Working out, I love working out. I got lucky. My mom was a fitness instructor forever. I got the genes to work out, so I love working out.
Yeah.
Dad's very athletic, so that's one of those things. I just got lucky. I love working out because a lot of people don't, you know, and they got to work out anyway. You know, and breaking down the endorphins and stuff in your body, just like I remember one day I was having like an anxiety attack, and I'm like, I got to go work out, and hour and a half later, got back in the car, and I was like, you know,
it helps you with your mood.
It definitely helps.
The benefits of like working out is like tremendously. Yeah, I can really.
They're endless, you know. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to do that because I'll be sore. If you're a wrestler, that's inevitable. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter, you know. And I've had people tell me, you know, well, you just got done with training. I wouldn't go to the gym. I don't care. You know, if I think I hurt myself, I might take a day off to see if I hurt myself. But if I'm like, I'm a little sore, I'm okay, we're going to the gym. You know what I mean? Because it's just, and I'm not a no days off guy. I take days off. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to push yourself.
You just live the culture though, because see, like you're a professional athlete, and professional athletes in any sport, you have to work out.
You got to.
Like you know, if like you want to be at that level, you know, be like a top class athlete. What do? The gym becomes your home.
Absolutely,
you know?
It's got to be.
You know, for you, it's like that's your lifestyle, and the easiest way to not, you know, feel upset or like, oh, I gotta work out is like making it your lifestyle, and that's what you do. You know,
it's like going.
That, oh well.
It's like going to work every day. You know, if I have a house and I got to pay $800 a month on that house, I don't feel like going to work. Too bad.
I have to, right? I have to, right?
You know.
Exactly.
Too bad. You know, it's one of those. It's part of. I told somebody the other day. I said, "Listen, man." I said, I don't always feel like working out. Part of the job. Too bad. You know, I want to eat pizza. Well, you can't. Too bad. You know, I mean,
but like for example, even you are saying that you give yourself maybe like a cheat day so you can get that fixation of eating the pizza. Okay, and that's it. That's all it is. It's like you're being disciplined, and the discipline is what gets you all, like, you know, to achieve the goals that you've been achieving. So absolutely
so many people's, you know, and I don't say this to be an ass once again. So many people's minds are so weak that they can't say. And and once again, I was there. I can speak from perspective, and that's why I'm not being a jerk, because I can speak from perspective. I've been there. I was the guy that on the first day of training, I couldn't do anything. I was 100 pounds overweight from where I needed to be. I was puking my guts out almost. And I just said, if I want to do this, I'll make it happen. I'm 100 pounds down and in the best shape of my life. If you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. And it's so good that you touched on that that topic of nobody in the NBA or the NFL just says, I'm going to be a basketball player just because I want to be a basketball player. You got to train. You got to work out. You got to, you know, I'm not a football guy or a basketball guy, really. I've played them a couple times. You know, I played basketball in high school and baseball and stuff. But whatever football drills, whatever baseball drills, whatever basketball drills, you got to run those drills and be good. You don't just get to say, yeah, I'm a basketball player. What's the difference with wrestling? You can't just say you're a wrestler. You know what I mean?
No,
you got to be a wrestler.
It's the same thing, especially, for example, like you, that you want to be a top-class athlete. You just got to be able to do the drills. You got to be good at it. You know, you have to be in good shape, you know, and also, like, to avoid injuries. You have to be in good shape.
That's a big thing.
To avoid injuries, you got to be, you know, in good shape. To, like, again, for example, like, who are they going to pick? The guy that, like, has a better shape. Why? Because also you're going to be able to have better matches, longer matches, stamina, you know, resistance. All of that comes from working out. You know, so people don't understand it, you know.
And I just, they really don't, and it's really sad, because I see a lot of people, and I'm like, you guys are so nice. You're nice guys, but it's not clicking up here. You're not understanding that, why stuff like that is important. And I say this all the time too, because it's just so true to me. If you've got a line, and I've told a couple people this, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess." If you walk into the South Central Wrestling locker room, I'm the champion there. If you walk into the South Central Wrestling locker room, and there's no belts, no nothing, just 12 guys and their gear, and they're standing lined up side by side, single file. Okay, you should be able, without a shadow of a doubt, to walk in there and say, "That guy's your champion right there, no question." Why? He's your champion. He better be your champion. That's the guy that I want to be. Is if you line me up with anybody, they're like, "Oh, that guy's got to be your champion."
The guy that stands out. The guy that
yeah,
stands
the guy
out.
that And a lot of people are like, "Well, I'm not. I'm just an average." Yeah, but don't be average.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, this guy's done this, and I'm a little bit better than that. Don't be a little bit better. Don't be happy with average. I'm a lot freaking better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, don't be saying I'm a lot better, because those are the guys, and I guess I have a knack for this. Those are the guys that I can look at and go, "That guy's good, but he's an ass."
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I can just tell. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it's just because the wrestling business has kind of molded me like that. I've known so many people that are like that I want to go, "You are so talented and you are so good, but you are an ass." And if someone does hire you, they'll probably fire you for not following instructions and just being a bad employee, because your coworkers, if I'm in the locker room with someone and I see you and you're like, just like working any other job. If you're a jerk, the boss is going to go, "What's going on?" "Well, this guy's a jerk." "All right, come talk to me." "Yeah, you're fired." Now in the wrestling business, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because we're independent contractors. But if me and you had a super good match, and these two other guys over here had a good match, but one of them was just being a total jerk and causing all types of hell in the locker room, you think he's getting invited back?
No.
Probably not.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because I don't want to deal with that.
You have to be a great athlete, but also a great person. And, I'm going to leave you with one thing that, isn't very important. When they used to tell me about, these things, you know what? One of my supervisors told me, make yourself the obvious choice.
Yeah.
That's what they told me. And, that sticks to in my head till this day. So now, Kirk, this is the time I give you the floor. Shout out to anybody. Please, your social media, where we can find you, where we can follow you, and when are you going to be next? Because, pandemic is finally... It's starting to be over. So when is your next show? The floor is yours, mister.
Okay. We've got, let me start off. Arkansas Championship Wrestling, June 13th. That is in Greenland, Arkansas, Greenland Community Center. Bell time 7:30. We've got a couple big names coming in.
James Ellsworth, I saw, right?
James Ellsworth. Yep. So we've got him. It's going to be awesome. We've got SCW, South Central Championship Wrestling. Their tournament is going to be for my belt, and that's the last Saturday in June. I want to say it's the 27th, I believe.
Yes.
But it's the last Saturday in June.
27th, yes.
So we've got that coming up. As far as shout-outs go, like I said earlier, Ohio Club, Michael Dampier. Listen, guys, if you're watching this and you're in Arkansas, around the Hot Springs area, or even if you're not, fly to the Ohio Club from whatever state you're in. If it's safe enough, because I know the pandemic's going on and stuff. Somehow get to the Ohio Club and get you one of their cheeseburgers. This guy, man, the first time I ever met Michael, man, super awesome dude. He brings out this burger. I had gotten the double cheeseburger. My buddies I was eating there with, also pro wrestlers, they got this burger. It was the size of my face, man. It's awesome. So shout out to the Ohio Club. I believe it's one of the oldest restaurants, if not the oldest restaurant in downtown Hot Springs, and there's a reason for that, because it's freaking good. So shout out to them. And Antonio Reyes, South Central Wrestling. He is the owner / promoter of South Central Wrestling. You've got Arkansas Championship Wrestling, WCWA, Fayetteville. I'm sure there's some SOAR Championship Wrestling. They're in Dallas. You're in Dallas, aren't you?
And no, I'm in PA.
In PA. Okay, cool. So, but you know about SOAR and stuff, though.
Yes, yeah, we
well, you've got SOAR in Dallas. I'm sure there's some that I'm forgetting. If I forgot you, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean anything personal by it. But those companies, they stand out to me. They do, and honestly, I don't want to work for a company that I don't approve of. And it's nothing. It's not me being a jerk. It's not me being prideful and saying I'm too good. It's just respect. You know, it comes down to respect and them saying, no, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to, honor the wrestling business. And we're going to do whatever it takes to put on a great show and a great event. And those are the reasons that I choose to work for those places, is because, they stand out to me.
That's it. That's what it is. That's what it's all about.
Yep. And
so social media then, Kirk.
Facebook is Kirk Castle Udy. That's EUDY on Facebook. And then Instagram, if you type in, at Kirk Udy or whatever, it will tag me. So I think it's at the real Kirk Castle. At the real Kirk Castle. That's another way that you can stand out as a professional wrestler, is promote. And since you have your own YouTube channel, you know more about that than I probably ever will. Promoting. So I can't expect anyone to know who I am if I'm not sitting there going, hey, you want a t-shirt? You want a flyer? Hey, here's my video. Here's my promo video. Check this out. Share. And a lot of people, I don't care if they get annoyed. That's me. If I'm good, I don't got to share my own stuff. You know what I mean? Now, I might share it a couple times, but at the end of the day, someone's got to go, this guy's good. Share. Like. You know what I mean? That's where you get people like, and I'm going to bring him up again because he's that good. Magnificent Malico, okay? Do you think he ever shares any of his own posts? Doesn't have to. I'm sharing his post because he's good. He deserves it. People are commenting on there going, this guy's crazy. He's awesome. He's, whatever. People are sharing and liking his post. Your show. I share your show all the time because it's good. You know what I mean? If someone's, and honestly, I share it because I see a lot of people, they'll do shows like this, and I'm like, what the hell, no, But then I watch you guys and stuff, even just listen to the podcast version. If I've just got a YouTube video going in my pocket when I'm, lifting weights or whatever, I'm like, man, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. I don't see a lot of that.
Well, thank you.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. It's the truth. And I see a lot of people that they want to be up there. They want to be the guy that everyone shares their video. But I'm like, you guys don't deserve to share the video, and it's not because you sat there on your ass and said, well, I just see how it goes, because if there's anything a pro wrestler knows, it's that you didn't get to where you're at by sitting there doing nothing.
Oh, no.
It's hard work. And so that's just how I feel about stuff like that is since we're talking about Facebook and Instagram and stuff, promote, and so, yeah, that's
promote.
Yeah,
and that's how it is. So, well, Kirk, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you so very much. It's been such a great time talking to you, and learning the real thing about not even how to be a wrestler. The biggest outtake I get from this is how to be a professional athlete. Do your best. Live it every single day. This profession is 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
And all I can do is wish you the best. And like I told you before, you're part of the Rope Break family. So anytime you have a big event coming up, you have a big match that you want to promote here, we're here for you. The window, the door, everything is open for you. So thank you so very much for that. And, for our family, don't forget to check us out. Like he said, promote. Facebook, Rope Break, Original Rope Break on here, YouTube, Original Rope Break on Instagram, the OG Rope Break on Twitter. Every day we have the best news, memes, interviews right here. See, we have the future of professional wrestling right here. When this gentleman either shows up on Dynamite or on NXT, I'll be happy and you will be happy as well. So family, thank you so very much for watching. Happy start of the week, happy start of the month tomorrow. And in the name of Kirk and myself, we both want to say, Ada!